Wow. Mit Soundeffekten. Okay. Ach, Alex? Teams ist immer noch auf Stumm? Nee, Teams. In Teams. Da. Da, Teams.
Danke.
Almost the first problem. Okay, let's start. Let's start with a classic question. Let's play a game. Everyone who can hear me, please raise your hands in Teams. Okay, I get the signal from our control room that we see hands, so this works. Because, as you all know, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And yesterday, at the first day of the TechCon, literally everything went wrong. Yeah, we messed up the microphones. So in our first talk, I was barely hearable. We crashed Microsoft Teams, and my other talk was half short because I lost 15 minutes of my 30-minute slot. Then the cat attacked the green screen during the talk. And by the way, we do not have a cat. It's the neighbor's cat. And of course, I lost my teeth because I messed up the chroma key config. Yeah, and I did not know that this is a thing. Thank you. I did not know that this is a thing, but it happened. Yeah, so another learning. But today everything will go perfectly because you can all hear me, and we now practiced, and it's fine. So yeah, and as you can hear, we have professionals in the control room. My name is Tarek. And I'm from Ideas Engineering, from the Research and Prototyping department. And there is the control room. Alex, say hello.
Hello.
And today we are going to talk about the VR Digital Arts Museum that we created at Axel Springer Ideas Engineering. And I call it our most beautiful prototype that we created yet, because usually we work on things like blockchain technology, and usually we do not say it's a very, very beautiful blockchain that we built, right? And with a VR Digital Arts Museum, we created something really stunning and beautiful. Yeah. As I said, my name is Tarek Madani Mamluk. I work as an innovation engineer, so what I do every day is evaluate technologies and build prototypes for the Axel Springer family, so that we know where to invest and where to dive deeper, and what technologies are not suitable for our means. Yeah. With me in our control room is Alex. Alex supports me today with competent technological fingertips. Did you say it like that? Perfect. Yeah. And of course, Alex is also involved at Ideas Engineering with a lot of things regarding innovation, product management, and support. And marketing, and website, and basically everything. And the soundboard. But let's talk about virtual reality. The one thing that I would like to show you. One moment. Kannst du einmal hier klicken, dass die Toolbar unten nicht sichtbar ist? Danke. Yeah, that's a little.
Where?
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Not everything works perfect, and also for some reason the image is very distorted. But okay, does not matter. Thank you. Doesn't matter. What you are supposed to see there is the application called Tilt Brush. And Tilt Brush is an application from Google, and it's wait, maybe I can just restart the video. Yeah, there we go. Tilt Brush is an application from Google that allows you to draw in virtual reality. So you see this person using the hand controller to draw lines in virtual reality, and this way you can create three-dimensional art simply like you would do with a paintbrush. I personally, I'm not an artist, so I'm not really capable of doing great things. But if we take a look at this beautiful masterpiece, this is an artist called Anna. And she creates amazing things like that, all in virtual reality, all with these digital tools. And as you can see, it is really detailed, it is stunning, and you as a visitor, if you take a look at that, it is a really beautiful thing to see. This is all drawn by hand with the virtual reality tools, and it's something really worth visiting. So we thought, let's dive deeper into that and understand what is going on there, and maybe we are able to make all these things accessible, with the means of our research and prototyping department. Let's see. I think we can also see, some scenes of her actually drawing this. You see, she has these controls, these VR controls, and if you actually know how to use them, you can quite easily go into there and really let your creativity a lot of freedom and create worlds, small things, small VR 3D objects, or amazing worlds with all these details. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, and you can create a whole world which is then able as a model to be imported in other applications. And the amazing thing here, why it is so important for us, is that Google not only created this tool to create this art, but also wrote Poly. And Poly is a library for 3D objects, and not only 3D objects, but this whole 3D art thing. So as an artist, you can create virtual reality art, as you saw in the previous clip, and upload it to Poly and add a license to that. A license like a Creative Commons or a remixable license, so that you say other people, other artists can use your art and your 3D objects to integrate in other projects. And this is something that we actually did. The API is quite easy to use. Google also provides an SDK and an API. So all you have to do is create a request, and then on this you can send out the commands and wait for a callback, because it's an API. Sometimes it takes a while to load the assets and the lists, and import them. And in detail, this looks like this. So all you have to do is pass on a callback object to, for example, the list assets interface in the Poly API, and you receive the result list. And either you can use this on the fly during the execution of the program, so the user can actually integrate with the library, or you do this offline. You download through the API the assets and integrate them into your application. But before we take a look into the concrete and details of what we did, I wanted to show you this. And this is the pitch that was actually the groundwork of this prototype. Because at Ideas Engineering, we have a process of creating ideas and brainstorm ideas of what to build next and what prototype to implement. And for this, we have these small pitches where we vote what is worth building. And this is the pitch that was the groundwork for the virtual reality museum. And the idea giver for this was actually Alex, who is with me in the control room. So Alex, maybe you can give us some background info about how you came up with this idea and what the original source of this was.
The original source was a video that I saw on Facebook, where they just showed this the digital arts museum in Tokyo. And since me and lots of other people, and long before Corona, are not necessarily able or willing to drive to travel to Tokyo, the idea was, let's bring this immersive technology over here, or at least bring the museum in your living room, basically. So for everyone to enjoy at home.
Yeah, and I think we did quite a good job with this. This is how it looks like when we integrate the Poly API client, the SDK, into Unity 3D. We created this literal virtual museum with several rooms, several big halls that you can visit and actually check out art that was created by other users, not in our museum, but in the Poly library. So we literally borrowed exhibits from the artists who offered this with remixable licenses and placed them in this virtual world. And you as a user can then actually walk through this as you would do in a regular museum. And I have some impressions for you. This is Lars. There. This is Lars, and this is me. We play around with this digital arts museum. We walk through it and we check out exactly what the artists were doing. And this is the special thing. You're not only looking at the art pieces, but you walk through and you see from within the art pieces what the artist created. It's not, you do not have to stay in distance, you do not have to look on very small items. You can go directly in there, you can take a look from the top, and this is something really unique, something that you can't do in a regular museum. So this is not only let's say, the simulation of a museum. In many aspects it might actually be more powerful than a real museum, and especially in Corona times, this is something that you might really enjoy. But that's not all that we did in terms of digital arts, because looking and moving is only one aspect. What we did was actually feeling the expos, the exhibits. Yeah, and what you see here in the background is something that we created, kind of abstract art, but this pulsating ball actually is something that you can feel. The closer you get, the more of the vibrations of this pulse you feel through your whole body. And you can see me on the screen wearing this weird backpack. Yeah? And this is something that helps me feel things that we send through the application into this hardware, and actually feel what happens around us. Yeah, we use, in this particular case, the Unreal Engine, and spatial sound, so that we can actually feel things that come from left, things that come from right. And if we touch something, like this cat, for example, we can actually cause a haptic response in your body. Yeah? And so this way we go deeper into this immersion and give the user the feeling to be actually in there. On the top right corner, you see the image from the headset that I'm wearing. So this is our old, we called it holodeck in the old office, where we developed all of these virtual reality prototypes. And this was really not only educational for us and really great to experiment with all of that, but this is really fun. Yeah? We had a lot of fun with these prototypes. In regards of the hardware, yeah, we only picked, let's say, the tip of the iceberg. The thing that I was wearing in this video is called SubPack, and this is, on the one hand, a powerful device to send acoustic signals as haptic response through your body, but on the other hand, it is kind of just a subwoofer, a stereo subwoofer that you have on your back. So it is not really a real bodily haptic response. It simulates this effect. And this is amazing, but it's not like the most powerful thing that we have on the market. Yeah? There's also something, the gamers among you might already know this, it's called a tact suit. And this tact suit, tact like tactile, is doing what I described, but on your whole body. So this vest that you wear, it has several motors in there and at several spots. So you can literally feel if someone pokes you or throws something at you, the place that it hits you, you can feel it on your chest or on your belly, for example. Yeah, and you see there you have also these things on your arms, on your legs, and it even has something that you put inside your headset, so that you can also feel things at your head. Yeah, so this thing is really all over your body and is built specifically to give you this haptic response. This haptic response. Another thing is the Tesla suit, for example. I'm really curious to try this one, because this is not only giving you the let's say, physical touching of your body, but it's also getting cool and hot. so you can feel temperature in your environment. So if you move your hand towards a fire, you can feel the warmth. Yeah? And this is something, if you put enough of these signals into your brain starts believing that you're actually there. And even if the graphics around you are not perfect, after a couple of minutes, you really feel this immersion in this virtual world if you have enough of this stimuli. Yeah? And another project that I'm really looking forward to is called Feel Real. This is something that I personally invested at Indiegogo because I wanted to have this thing, I think 1.5 years ago. And this is a little box that you plug on the bottom of your headset, and it emits smells. Yeah? So it gives you not only this tactile response, but now you also can smell things. And the smells, they are also programmed into the game or the virtual experience that you have. So the programmer also has an API where he can program certain combinations of perfumes. And of course, it's not like one box that solves everything, but you can buy then one box for a certain movie or a certain experience or a certain game. And this one has exactly the base, the base chemicals that give you the experience for these scenes in this situation. And the one problem with this is that the US government actually started to create restrictions for this one, because technically it's a vaping device. Exactly. When the FDA took a look at this, they said this is kind of a vaping device because these chemicals in there, they are vaped into the environment, and so it is kind of a vaping device that you have in front of your face, and that's why it needs to be handled as a vaping device. And so it is delayed. Yeah? The creators, they are confident that it will be available at some point, but right now it is delayed. Plus, we have the COVID pandemic, and so everything is delayed. Yeah? So I'm waiting for a long time to try this thing, and someday I'm sure I'm going to try it, but for now it's delayed, indefinite. Yeah, and what comes next? That's a good question. I don't really know how to answer that, because all of these things, they move step by step forward. At Axel Springer, we have small experiments with what to use, and these devices that I showed you right now, they are all experimental, and this is probably for a long time nothing that the average person has at home. So when we build experiences like that, they are more in this showcase nature, yeah, and we experience what is possible, and maybe we can do for very specific use cases projects where we integrate this knowledge and move forward. But of course, there are no mainstream projects where we say, okay, with a newspaper subscription, we send out a Tesla suit or something like that. Would be amazing, but this is of course nothing that we do for now. But I strongly believe that this whole sphere of virtual reality technologies is really taking off and gives us a new world of possibilities that I just saw the subtitle and said something about pain. Okay,
it said many and lots of funny things in between.
Okay, I'm really curious to read the subtitles. Oh yeah, by the way, I did not mention this in the very beginning. The subtitles is another prototype that we created at Ideas Engineering, and so it's not clear yet. If we are going to roll this out as a standard feature, but it's a cool thing, yeah. And so far, quite powerful, not so accurate as I would love it. Okay, what did I say? Right, all of these technologies, it creates a whole new sphere of possibilities for future projects and products. And even though it might not be perfect yet, we are in the business of storytelling, right? We are in the business of creating media. And so whatever sticks of these technologies in the next 5 or 10 years, we must be there to utilize it and make the most out of it. And we do not want to be the last one creating 360-degree or virtual reality news or entertainment media, right? And so this is why we are now in small iterations, trying out what is possible and what makes sense to utilize in the future. I'm really a big fan of this, and I'm looking forward to build the next amazing prototype. And now we still have a couple of minutes, so if you have questions, now is the time.
We actually do have some questions, or we do have one question.
Perfect.
So is the virtual museum also available outside the holodeck? Might we use it as a cool addition to the VR test phase currently going on? And would it be working on the Oculus Quest as well?
Two very good questions. Right now, it only exists as source code on our computers or in our repositories. So it is not available right now for testing. We might be able to provide this as a downloader. So you can download it on your local computer and then try it at home if you like. On mobile devices like the Oculus Quest, I do not know. We did not test it. It is not optimized for that. Yeah, we created and tested this on the cable-bound devices, the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive. So we know that it works with both of those devices. But usually, if you create applications for mobile devices like the Oculus Quest, you need to be careful with the graphics and the battery power. So if you create too much calculations in the background, you drain the battery very fast, or it's just too CPU or GPU hungry to be executed. So this might be an interesting experiment that we should do, but for now I have no idea if it works, and I would guess it does not work. It's too heavy.
And then a follow-up suggestion, let's do the experiment.
Sure, let's do it. Thanks for the unicorns, by the way. Are there more questions?
Not for now, no.
Okay, perfect. Then if you have other questions later on, you can always contact me. I want to apologize to some people who tried to contact me yesterday, but I was so deeply involved in a lot of talks and a lot of things here at the TechCon that I did not even check my emails, and so I only saw in the very evening that people tried to contact me. But at least after the TechCon, I am very responsive, and so if you want to drop me a line, send me a message, I'm really happy to talk about all of these things regarding virtual reality or prototypes in general, and I love to collaborate with many people in the Axel Springer family to bring these amazing visions alive. Okay, yeah. Then if we are through, feel free to browse to the next session. And it was a blast being here at the TechCon, even though a lot of things went really wrong, but we learned a lot, and I'm really looking forward to the next event where we see each other. So, thank you and bye. Cool, we should always have this.
Okay, nice. How do I turn it off?
we never practiced that one.
No,
right?
No, we didn't. I'm panicking.